Outdoor kitchens are everywhere right now. Instagram, Pinterest, every home renovation show, someone's building one. The outdoor kitchen market hit almost $25 billion globally in 2024, and it's growing close to 9% per year. But the question nobody answers honestly is it actually worth the money? Or are you gonna spend $15,000 to $25,000 on something that you see 6 times a year? I'm gonna break down the real numbers, the real usage patterns that are documented, and what actually holds its value so you can decide for yourself. Let's start with what you're actually spending. The national average for an outdoor kitchen is about $13,000 to $17,000. That gets you a built-in grill, countertops, structural island, and basic utility hookups. At the low end, a simple grill island with a prep surface runs $7,000 to $10,000. The high end, a full kitchen with a premium grill, refrigerator, sink, pizza oven, custom cabinetry, you're looking at $20,000 to $40,000 or more. But those numbers aren't just the kitchen itself. What cost guides don't include is everything around it. If you don't already have a patio, a proper foundation that runs $1,200 to $5,000 or more, depending on whether or not you're doing concrete or pavers, you almost certainly need electrical, like a dedicated circuit for a fridge or outlets. Those can run $500 to $2,000 if conduit wasn't laid before the slab. If you want a gas line for the grill instead of propane, that's another $500 to $2,000 depending on the distance from your main line. And if you don't have a shade structure over it, which you will need if you want to actually use a grill outside in the summer, add another $5,000 to $25,000 depending on what you go with. That's something that I talked about in a prior video of all the different regrets I see around outdoor living. Big one is building an outdoor kitchen with nothing over the top. So you lay meat out next to your grill and it gets really hot sitting there waiting to go on the grill. And it's just not a good experience. Not to mention you are burning up because of all the sun on you, plus the grill itself. If you have like black pavers, that's gonna absorb heat as well. Now the realistic all-in cost for a functional outdoor kitchen with a proper patio and shade, closer to $20,000 to $40,000 for a mid-range, $40,000 to $70,000 for more of a premium build. That's the number that nobody puts in the headline because nobody wants to spend that amount of money right out of the get-go. Now for the ROI question, here's where I think it gets a little bit more interesting. Multiple industry sources put the ROI of an outdoor kitchen between 55% to 200%. Now, 83% of realtors say outdoor kitchens increase resale value. And according to a survey by Halligan's Hearth and Home, some data suggests homes with outdoor kitchens can sell for up to 30% more than comparable homes without them. But let me be straight with you, those numbers need context. The high end of that ROI range assumes a well-designed, well-built kitchen in a market where outdoor living is a premium feature. A $15,000 outdoor kitchen in Phoenix or Nashville, where you can use it 9 months of the year, great investment. That same kitchen in northern Minnesota, where you've got 5 usable months of weather, the math changes a little bit. In Indiana, we get a solid 6 months of comfortable weather of cooking, roughly April through October, sometimes extended in a few days into November. And that's if you're not bothered by a few chilly evenings. Now, if you do a patio cover with screens or something like that, then you can still use it in the winter, but it's not as enjoyable, let's be honest. I do that with mine underneath our pergola, and it's cold. That's just the nature of the beast. So you do need to be realistic about your climate and evaluating whether or not the ROI numbers apply to you. Are you gonna use it during the week or just the weekend? There's only so many weekends in that many months. So you'd have to consider the number of times you're actually gonna touch that kitchen. The other factor is quality. A well-built outdoor kitchen with durable cabinets, quality appliances, and proper drainage adds real value. A cheap prefab island on a cracked patio does not. If you're building for resale value, the build quality matters much more than the feature itself, but all that matters in context with the value of your home and where your home sits among the homes around it. If you're already the most expensive house in the area and your cost per square foot is already so high, it's harder to get the same ROI out of an outdoor kitchen than it would be for a neighbor who has more room within the neighborhood to have a higher cost per square foot. Now, when people plan an outdoor kitchen, they're picturing themselves out there every weekend, grilling, entertaining, living the dream. And some people actually do that. The Hearth, Patio, and Barbecue Association reports that over 70% of US households own a grill or a smoker. So the cooking habit is already there for most families. But here's the honest question. How often do you actually grill right now? Are you already firing up a standalone grill 2 to 3 times a week in the summer? An outdoor kitchen is gonna get used about the same amount, maybe a little more. It kind of makes sense if you're upgrading a habit you already have. On the other hand, if your current grill has cobwebs on it, then by July, when you're spending $15,000 on a built-in version, it's not gonna change your behavior drastically. It's just gonna be a more expensive thing that you don't use. Behavioral patterns aren't necessarily always changed just by spending more money to try to change those patterns. It does happen sometimes, but it is something to be honest with yourself about if it's worth the money. The other usage killer is just convenience or the lack of it. If your outdoor kitchen doesn't have a sink and you're running inside to wash your hands and then prep food every 10 minutes and then bring it back out and then bring it back in and bring it back out, if you don't have a fridge, if you're making trips inside for every single ingredient, every spice, there's no shade when you're cooking, so it's 95 degrees out, which in Indiana in July and August it is, and you're on black pavers, I talked about this earlier, and the grill is on fire, and there's no lighting when the sun goes down, so you can't really see what you're doing. These are bad situations where the experience is not as good as you originally imagined. So you do need to consider those sorts of moments when you're already grilling, hopefully, and you find, I really have a hard time grilling past 9 o'clock. I personally do, because I can't see what's on the grill as well. I can't see the cook as easily as I can during the day. In the heat, am I gonna wanna use it? Or do we already have some sort of shade structure? Maybe do the shade, then the outdoor kitchen. It's entirely up to you. But outdoor kitchens that actually get used are the ones that are designed as complete functional spaces and somehow integrated with the kitchen. Whether or not they have every fancy thing is an afterthought, but they should at least have easy access to a sink or a fridge and have ideally storage for spices, unless you prep everything like my wife and I do all at once in the kitchen and bring it all out at once to the grill or to the table. And then how close is the dining area to it? Do you need to have that shaded as well? How many nice days a year do you get in general in your area, even during warm months? Because there also is rain. All that stuff, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, pardon the pun, but it is something to consider when you're planning to spend a lot of money. If you do decide to build there, here's where your money is well spent versus where you might be overpaying. Worth it is a quality built-in grill. It's the centerpiece. A mid-range grill from a brand like Weber, Bull, or Blaze runs $1,500 typically, up to $3,000, and can last 15 to 20 years or even longer with basic maintenance. You don't need an $8,000 Lynx unless you're a serious enthusiast. The mid-range models cook the same food. They both fire up about the same. Now, another possibly worth it is a sink with running water. It's a feature that I think separates your kitchen from one you use to a kitchen you kind of abandon. It really makes it feel like a kitchen. It doesn't have to be fancy. A basic outdoor kitchen with hot and cold water that runs 500 to 1,000 installed, depending on how close it is to the nearest water line. But it eliminates the back and forth to the house and kills the outdoor cooking flow. It's a lot easier to have the sink out there with you to easily wash your hands in between whatever it is that you're doing. Another possible worth it is an outdoor rated refrigerator. A cooler, frankly, also works for this. I have done that, is take like a Yeti, because those things stay cold, and place things in it, or other coolers like it, like an Ozark, that keeps things really cold. Being able to grab a drink or pull out prep ingredients without having to go inside keeps you outdoors. And keeping that stuff outdoors in the middle of the process saves you those extra steps and makes everything feel like it's at hand when you need it. And I think that definitely changes the environment of how you use your space. The probably not worth it is like the pizza oven. People are really excited about those. They run 500 to 3,000. They look really cool. And I think that there are homeowners that I have talked to that use them enthusiastically for a while. But most of them that I talk to are really enthusiastic for like 3 months, and then it just becomes like a countertop decoration. But if you genuinely make pizza from scratch regularly, go for it. But otherwise, I would be honest with yourself, there's a lot of square footage that that thing can take up that you might not want. Another probably not worth it is like dishwasher outside or ice maker or other specialty appliances. Each one adds $1,000 to $3,000 and another utility hookup. And it's frankly another thing that you can break that's sitting outdoors all the time. The more complex you make the kitchen, the more maintenance it needs and the more things can go wrong. So keep it simple, keep it functional, give yourself the room to renovate and make it nicer as you get going if you find you really need it. But the grill and the sink, having those in there at the beginning is a real game changer. Now, there are situations where an outdoor kitchen is just not the right investment. If you're planning to sell the house in the next year or two, you're unlikely to recoup the full cost or even a large percentage of the cost. The ROI is real in certain areas, but I wouldn't bank on the ROI as a reason to add the outdoor kitchen. Whether or not you use the space and get the value yourself is really the reason why you should spend the money. At the same time, it's important to consider if you're going to move soon, it might not be worth putting that much money into something you're also not going to get the money out of, unless you really expect to use it a lot and it's worth the money to you. If your existing patio is too small or cracked and it doesn't have the infrastructure underneath, no electrical conduit, no gas line, no access, or poor drainage, the site prep costs can sometimes double the project budget before you've even installed the kitchen itself. So definitely need to consider that before you go ahead. If you don't have shade and aren't willing to invest in it, the kitchen's gonna sit unused for the hottest months, which is exactly the months you're supposed to be using it. I've harped on that a lot in many videos. You really wanna put some sort of shade, even if it's just an umbrella. Really need to plan the shade, where the sun is positioned, and how that shade's gonna get you. If you face west, even if you put an umbrella up, when that sun starts to set, you're going to be right in the direct line of that sun. So really think about shade at the same time as you're thinking about the kitchen. And if you're stretching your budget to build this sort of thing, you're probably better off investing in some quality standalone grill that you can move with you somewhere else, a normal good patio setup, and then maybe a shade structure first. Those three things will change your outdoor life more than a half-built outdoor kitchen. And especially if you're stretching your budget to make it happen, strongly recommend to do the things that are movable with you, especially if you're not worried about ROI. Like a normal grill that you can take with you to your new house is probably worth the money. And then other shade structures you can move with you, like an umbrella, is probably worth it to you. But if you really want to spend the money, then you can start looking at, the premium experience. An outdoor kitchen is worth it if three things are true. One, you cook regularly outside and you're upgrading an existing habit, not creating one. Two, you're building a complete space, shade, lighting, sink, some sort of seating nearby, not just a grill island in the sun. And three, you're in a climate or you're willing to commit to the setup when you have the time to use it during the months that work within your climate. So again, pattern that you already have, and you're willing to accept that you can use it 20 weekends out of the year or 24 weekends out of the year, depending on where you live. If all those things are true, an outdoor kitchen is a great investment that I think a lot of people can consider. The only caveat there is the word investment makes it sound like you're gonna get your money back out of it, and it is still a purchase because you may not get all the money back out of it. You just need to consider that. It does, however, extend your living space. It does add some resale value, but I do think that the ROI is hard to measure and therefore shouldn't be the reason you purchase it to begin with. But I do think families that do the right thing, already have the habit, and build an outdoor kitchen can really enjoy the space, and they eat outside as much as possible from May to October. So if you're that sort of person, go out there and buy an outdoor kitchen. If you're not, hopefully this video was helpful, at least to consider a little bit more. If you like seeing videos like this, subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.